Are you on a weight loss or fat loss journey and you've been tracking everything 80% of the time meticulously into your food tracking app and you find you're still not seeing the results that you want to see? Or are you thinking about starting to track calories and macros and you don't really know if you should be using a food scale or not because this person says that you should, this person says you don't have to? In this video, I'm gonna weigh out the pros and the cons of using a food scale when tracking your calories and macros, as well as how to help you decide if buying a food scale is right for you and if it's gonna be beneficial for you in your journey. And then I'm gonna show you how to simply use one of these food scales when tracking your calories and macros of your meals and your snacks. How one of these scales can help you be more accurate and effective when tracking your calories and your macros. So let's get right into it. But of course, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you get a notification when I release a new video just like this one every single week. My name's Michelle Roots, kinesiologist, personal trainer, nutrition coach, and motivation specialist with over 17 years experience in the industry, helping people increase lean muscle and decrease body fat to become the strongest, leanest, healthiest versions of themselves. And I created this channel because I want to help you as well. So let's start by weighing out the pros and cons of using a food scale when you're tracking your calories and tracking your macros. And this is going to help you decide if using a food scale is right for you and your personal journey. So as always, I'm going to keep 100% real with you guys and give you my personal opinion on using a food scale. So what are the pros? The pros are pretty obvious. You are going to be much more accurate when you are literally weighing everything you eat and entering it into your app, because again, we know nutrition labels are not always 100% accurate. Portion sizes, when they're eyeballed, are not going to be 100% accurate. So when you are weighing everything you're eating, you know exactly what you're putting in your body and you are tracking your calories and macros much more effectively and efficiently to ensure that you are going to be staying in your calorie deficit if your goal is weight loss, or hitting the right amount of protein every day, carbs, fats. Because as I've said in the past, if you are eating in a calorie deficit and you find you're still struggling to lose weight, there's a possibility that it is coming down to your portion sizes, and either you're ballparking things, which is totally fine and completely normal, but there's a possibility that you're off and you're tracking each day by 200, 300, 400 calories just from hidden sneaky calories due to mismeasurement of specific foods. And in turn, that little 200 or 300 calories over your calorie deficit every single day or even a few days a week can have an effect on your overall weight loss progress. So that's the first pro. Second pro is they are very, very easy to use once you learn how to do it, which I'm gonna show you later in this video. And what's the third pro? It's an educational tool. So as I often say already in many videos on this channel, tracking calories, tracking macros, weighing your food, all of these things are educational tools that you won't have to do for the rest of your life if you take the time to do it properly and learn. For example, if you use a scale consistently for 2 months to 3 months, weighing every single thing, you're gonna start to learn what 100 grams of chicken looks like, or you're gonna start to learn what 175 grams of yogurt looks like, because you're doing it consistently, repetitive over and over, with the idea that you're not gonna have to use this for the rest of your life. And that brings us into the cons. So I would say the first con is you can't take a scale with you everywhere you go. I guess technically you could, but you shouldn't. Like, there's no need to be carrying this around in your purse. So when you go to restaurants, when you go eat at a friend's house, or you grab something on the go, you can't weigh it, which is totally fine. But that's one of the cons, is when you're relying on a food scale all the time, you're really only gonna be able to use that when you're at home, either doing your meal prep or cooking your meals to eat right then and there. The second con, I guess, is subjective, in that I personally believe in working with so many different people that it's very easy to become obsessed and start to build an unhealthy relationship with food, especially if you're coming from a history of dieting and restrict, and constantly restricting your calories with the goal of weight loss. And you're moving into a journey where you want to start building a healthier relationship with food and understanding macronutrients and fueling your body with the right foods versus always restricting and starving yourself, with the goal of changing your body composition and feeling good and feeling energized. Sometimes if you haven't taken the time to build that healthy relationship with food and understand that all foods are allowed in moderation, 80-20 rule, I would say jumping right into using a food scale can be a little bit risky for mental health, as well as, like I said, building that healthy relationship with food. So that's, I guess, the second con is what I would say is check where you're at mentally right now on your journey. If you're someone who you think would become obsessive around the weighing and not look at it just as a tool, look at it as I'm only allowed to eat these things because I weighed them first, then I think just getting into building a healthy relationship with food and just starting to track your calories and focus on macros and eating to fuel your body is a great place to start. And then once you feel like you've kind of healed your relationship with food and you feel a lot more comfortable and you really just want to dial it in and keep continuing to see results, then you can start to introduce the scale. So that's kind of what I wanted to say, I guess, at the beginning of this video. I didn't want this to be a video of where if you're not using a scale, you're a failure and you better start using a scale, because I don't think that's true. I honestly feel like you can still be very successful in ballparking your calories and macros and doing the best you can to track your calories and macros as accurately as you can, from either using measuring cups or barcode scanners and tracking consistently 80% of the time, focusing on your strength training, focusing on your daily step count, your sleep, your stress, your this, your that. So now as you're sitting watching this video, you're thinking to yourself, either you do use a scale and should I stop using the scale because I'm noticing these things are happening with me, or I'm not using a scale and I have been eating consistently and tracking my calories and macros, but not necessarily weighing everything. Should I start using a scale? As I said, this is a personal journey and I feel like you know yourself best and you know what will work. In the end, weighing everything you eat is going to be the most 100% effective and accurate way to track your macros and calories, but it's not the be all and end all. I just want to take a minute to thank today's video sponsor, Element, one of my go-tos for replenishing my electrolytes after sweaty workouts. Electrolytes are so important for so many functions in the body, including hormonal regulation, nutrient absorption, and fluid balance. Sometimes water just isn't enough, and Element has the perfect balance of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And better yet, no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, so no junk. Element can help prevent and eliminate headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, sleeplessness, and other common symptoms of electrolyte deficiency. Right now, Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any drink mix purchase. It's a great way to try all 8 flavors. Get yours at drinkelement.com/Michelle. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to DRINKLMNT/Michelle. So let's start by showing you the easiest way to use a scale. I'm gonna kind of compile one of my favorite snacks or quick breakfast: Greek yogurt, apples, and some all-bran buds. Okay, so I start by turning the scale on here, and what I'm gonna do first is put the bowl on. Okay, so it's gonna weigh the bowl. Make sure that you are measuring. I'm measuring grams, so usually your scale will have a way to change the units, whether you're measuring in ounces or grams. I prefer to measure in grams. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not eating the bowl, so I wanna make sure I'm not weighing the bowl, so I just hit 0. So I'm gonna zero it out, so now the scale is not gonna account for the weight of the bowl. From there, I'm gonna take my Greek yogurt so I can see that one serving size is 3/4 of a cup. So just for the sake of that, we're gonna weigh out 175 grams of Greek yogurt. So as you can see, as I put it on the scale, it's gonna start to weigh it. 175, boom, on the money. Okay, so there's my 175 grams of Greek yogurt. And then from there, what I'm gonna do is cut up about 3/4 to half of an apple. So now, because I know I have 175 grams of yogurt in there, I know that I'm going to track that with the barcode scanner. I'm gonna zero it again. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna throw all of this apple in here, Kapowis. I'm gonna throw all the apple in, and I'm gonna try and get 50 grams. Ooh, close. Okay, 50.3 grams. From there, I know now I'm going to track, I have 50.3. If you want to be 100% accurate, I could just put 50 grams of apple in my bowl. And then now I'm going to track that into my tracker. And then next up, I really like all bran, so I'm going to zero it again. And let's see, one serving, I want 1/3 cup. Okay, again, I could measure out 1/3 cup, but this is just the easiest way. I want about 28 grams. So I'm gonna pour it in until I get close to about 28 grams. Getting there, getting there. The more you do this, guys, the more accurate you're gonna be able to be. Ooh, I'm close. I feel like I just gotta do this. 27.9. Let's do one more. Come on. Okay, let's just call that 28. Close enough. So now, there is my meal. I know I have 175 grams of Greek yogurt. I know I have 28 grams of all bran, and I know I have 50 grams of apple. So now I'm gonna go into my calorie tracker app. I'm gonna go add meal. If I wanna take a photo, sure, why not? I take a photo. I'm going to scan the barcode for the Greek yogurt, easiest way. Okay, and then I review. Now here it says half a cup. I'm gonna change it to grams, and I'm gonna put 175 grams. So I know for sure that's 120 calories and 15 grams of protein. Then I'm gonna go add more food. Okay, and then I'm gonna go 1 gala apple, so I'm gonna find something similar. I'll see here, I can put in the grams. So I know I have 50 grams of a gala apple, I add that. And then next I'm going to scan the barcode of the all bran buds and add that. Let's review. So I know I have 28 grams. That's 80 calories. So I know that meal in total is 228 calories, 18 grams of protein, 44 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of fat. I know that for sure because I literally weighed everything, and then I'm gonna log it. So there you go, guys. That's one of the easiest ways to build a meal, using your scale and then tracking it all in the app, and you can comfortably know that you know exactly how many calories you're eating, how much protein you're getting in that meal, and it's the most accurate way to do it. Now, what about something like oats or rice that you're probably going to cook? Should you weigh it after it's cooked or before it's cooked? I personally think you should be weighing it before it's cooked, because once it's cooked, you're adding water to it, which is gonna add more volume and probably more weight. Same with rice. So just knowing exactly how much you're getting of the dry ingredients, so quinoa, rice, oats, those kind of foods, I would say you're gonna weigh them before. So now let's talk about actual accuracy and the difference between what a food label tells you and when you actually weigh the food and what it actually would say. So let's look at this bread, for example. When I look at the nutrition label, it tells me 2 slices of bread is 75 grams and 200 calories. So let's pull out 2 slices of bread and put them on the scale, and it actually comes out to 85 grams. So this label tells us that 2 slices is 75 grams. So an extra 10 grams. Let's see how many extra calories that's gonna be. So I'm gonna open up my app and go to my meal tracker, and I'm going to scan the barcode. Okay, we'll add it. Okay, so I know I have 1 serving. So I know it's actually 85 grams, which is actually 227 calories. So again, it's only 27 calories, but added up at every single meal, an extra 20 or 30 calories, that could add up to an extra 100, 200 calories every single day. So again, this is where, depending on how accurate you want to be, this is where a scale can be helpful, but also 27 calories here and there. Is it the end of the world? Not really. But again, I'm gonna show you something else. I'm gonna show you measuring something like almond butter. So how are we gonna do that in the most accurate way? So what you wanna do is you're going to put the whole container right on the scale. Make sure you take the lid off. Whole container on the scale. And then that's gonna weigh how many grams are in the entire container. And then I'm gonna zero it again. So then all I'm gonna do is take my tablespoon, and I'm going to scoop out approximately a tablespoon. I'm kind of running low on almond butter. So pretending that's a tablespoon, which most people would eyeball and be like, yeah, that's probably good. Heaping over a little bit, it's actually 19 grams. So it shows me how much I took out of the container. Let's look and see. I don't want this to spill. 1 tablespoon is 15 grams. So again, that's where ballparking comes in. So 18, so I want to get this down to 15. Jeez Louise. 16, 14, okay, you get it. You get where I'm going here. 15.6, okay. I'm so determined. 15.3, close enough. Okay, so now I know I'm putting 15.1 grams of almond butter into my bowl, not what I originally scooped out and eyeballed to be a tablespoon, which most people don't even use this measurement. They just use a big old spoon and scoop in whatever they think, and it could be a difference of a lot of calories. So that's another way of using the scale, is putting the whole container on, make sure lid is off. You can do the same thing with the yogurt, take the lid off, and instead of putting the bowl on the scale, you can put this on the scale and then scoop out, and it's gonna tell you 175 grams as well. So there you go, that's how a scale can help you be more accurate, especially with things like avocados. You can find something in your tracker that says half a medium avocado, but is this a medium avocado or is it a large or is it a small? I don't really know. So if you want to be 100% accurate, especially with these higher calorie foods, like nothing wrong with avocados. I love avocados and they are so good for you, but half an avocado of a small avocado and half an avocado of a large avocado, depending on how you track it, can be a big difference in quite a few calories. And then I just want to show you one last example. Fun foods. This is when you live in a house full of boys, there has to be fun foods in the house as well. So let's look at a portion size. So a lot of people will probably take this bag to the couch and just eat away. And a portion size says 23 chips is 50 grams, which is 270 calories, 28 grams of carbs, 3 grams of protein. So you're like, yeah, I probably had about 23 chips. But let's actually see, I'm gonna weigh out 23 chips, or what it actually is 50 grams. So let's put the bowl on. I'm gonna zero out the bowl, 0. And let's just put in until we get about 50 grams of chips. Okay, do. 44. 50.8. 50, boom. So there you go. Instead of taking the whole bag to the couch, here's my 50 grams of chips, which is actually a pretty decent portion. I feel like that would be more than enough for me for like a salty snack, but you can accurately track this. So now you know, okay, 80-20 rule, I'm having my 20% in moderation, but I'm not just taking this whole bag to the couch. I have weighed out one serving. I know exactly this is 270 calories. I'm gonna fit it into my calories for the day, and I'm gonna enjoy these chips because I've weighed them out and held myself accountable for it, but also showing that you can eat these foods if you fit them into your calories and track them accurately, not just handfuls, and be like, yeah, I probably had about 23 chips-ish, you know? This is how you can still enjoy these foods. This is another great use for a scale, in that it's not just restricting what you can eat, it's showing you what you actually can eat and fit into your calories if you track it accurately. So there you go, guys. There's a breakdown of how to use a food scale to be more accurate in tracking your calories and macros. And also, I hope by the end of this video, now you've decided if doing this is right for you. Again, just remember, nothing is set in stone. You can play around with it. You can measure a few things here and there just to help learn portion sizes. And again, think of it as an educational tool that once you've done it enough, just like tracking calories, tracking macros, that you are going to be able to start eyeballing these things versus just winging it. It is going to help with sustainable weight loss or fat loss because you've taken the time to educate yourself. Again, this is not a diet tool, it's an educational tool to get a better understanding of portion sizes. But like I said at the beginning of the video, it is not mandatory to see success in weight loss or fat loss and body recomposition. As always, leave any questions in the comments below. I'll also link the scale that I use. It's from Amazon. It was pretty cheap and it works really well. I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. If you are interested in getting yourself a food scale, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, so I know you guys are still enjoying the content. And if you need more help with your fitness or your nutrition, you can learn more about my one-on-one online fitness and nutrition coaching program where you work with me one-on-one to reach your fitness or fat loss goals. I'll link the information to that in the description below as well. And as always, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.